If you're going to hold an evangelistic event, you've got to promote it if you want people to come. In this episode, we're going to look at King Hezekiah from the Old Testament and explore how he promoted an evangelistic event. In the process, you'll learn 7 keys to effective evangelism marketing. Hi, I'm Larry Witzel, and this is Ministry Insights from SermonView. Hey, thanks for checking out this podcast. I'm honored that you've chosen to spend a few minutes with me today. If you like what you hear, please subscribe and share it with 1 or 2 of your ministry colleagues. There's an interesting story in 2 Chronicles beginning in chapter 28 about King Hezekiah that I think can teach us a lot about evangelism marketing. The nation of Israel was in decline. Enemies had raided the land, and the treasury had been emptied to placate them. The worship of Yahweh had been abandoned, the great temple shut tight. It was a dark time for the country. 2 Chronicles 28 verse 24 says, Ahaz gathered together the furnishings of the temple of God and cut them in pieces. He shut the doors of the Lord's temple and set up altars at every street corner in Jerusalem. These were truly dark days. And then along comes a new king, Hezekiah. He's 25 years old, and within days of his coronation, he had the temple reopened. He was determined to offer his citizens the opportunity for a powerful spiritual encounter with the living God of heaven. After the temple had been fully purified, he and the other leaders decided to celebrate the Passover as in days gone by. But King Hezekiah did more than just create an environment for his fellow worshipers to encounter God. He did more than just plan a great event following the scriptural instructions. He did more than just dream of vast crowds of people experiencing the presence of God. King Hezekiah promoted the Passover. 2 Chronicles 30, verse 1. Hezekiah sent word to all Israel and Judah and also wrote letters to Ephraim and Manasseh, inviting them to come to the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem and celebrate the Passover to the Lord, the God of Israel. I believe that in a local church, every ministry activity should be creating an experience and an environment where individuals have an opportunity to take a step closer to God. Promotion of those activities attracts people to the event and prepares them for the experience by setting expectations. Obviously, planning a great evangelistic event is useless if no one participates. Even more than in the days of Hezekiah, promotion today is crucial for success. As we'll see in a moment, Hezekiah sent a well-crafted message which was received by people who rarely got news of anything. Today, though, we are bombarded with thousands of messages every single day, more often than not spreading the distracting lies of the god of money. It simply takes more effort to penetrate this virtual blockade of truth. From this passage in 2 Chronicles, I want to share 7 keys to successfully promoting an evangelistic event. Now, full disclosure, these ideas came from a Bible study I did on this passage many years ago with my friend Vince Williams, the co-founder of SermonView. He's not at the company anymore, but I appreciate his passion and insight into this passage, so I do want to share the credit for this episode. Okay, so here are 7 keys to successfully promoting an evangelistic event from King Hezekiah. First, make sure that your event is meeting a need that's felt by people in your community. Every ministry activity in a local church should be intended to help people meet Jesus or to influence them to grow closer to Jesus in some area of discipleship. If what you're planning won't do that effectively, then maybe it's not worth promoting. In this passage, God led Hezekiah to promote a Passover celebration. But it wasn't just about getting back to the old-time religion. It was also evangelistic. He invited his neighbors to the north who shared their heritage, but at this point, not their religion. And this event ignited a passionate revival in the worship of God. The promoted activity, in this case, really did meet the need. Number 2, speak to your target audience. Hezekiah sent his message to Israel as well as Judah, knowing that many in the northern nation would mock both the message and the messenger. Yet he didn't soften the message or play it down. He spoke directly to the needs of these people who had so recently been defeated. 2 Chronicles 30 verse 6 tells us his message. People of Israel, return to the Lord, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, that he may return to you who are left, who have escaped from the hand of the kings of Assyria. If you return to the Lord, then your brothers and your children will be shown compassion by their captors and will come back to this land, for the Lord your God is gracious and compassionate. Hezekiah invited beaten, broken people to join him for an international gathering of faith, speaking words of encouragement that both invited them to participate and set expectations for what they would experience. Number 3, overstate the benefits. People are more motivated to participate in an activity if they see how they will personally be blessed. Hezekiah's appeal was simple. Return to the Lord and your families will be shown compassion and will be reunited with you. It was a bold claim, and people responded. Now, there's a fine line between sounding like an infomercial filled with unreasonable promises and following the Spirit's leading and casting a God-sized vision that couldn't possibly be accomplished by humans. The difference, of course, is the Holy Spirit. So pray about the claims that you're about to make, then boldly overstate the benefits. Number 4, ask for an immediate response. Hezekiah gave people just 2 to 3 weeks notice, an incredibly short time frame in an era where traveling to Jerusalem meant walking for days. People had to make an immediate decision. Of course, today's pace of life is much faster and schedules are packed, so ask people to pre-register or sign up for a space or make some other tangible commitment. By asking people to take immediate action prior to the event, they make a small commitment to participate and add it to their calendar, and it significantly increases the likelihood of their participation. And by giving people multiple ways to respond, by phone, on the web, maybe even a mobile app, you decrease the friction for each individual to take that next step. Number 5, use multiple communication channels. I don't want to make too big a deal of this, but in the story in 2 Chronicles 30, there are 4 different words to describe the communication that he sent out. Verse 1, King Hezekiah now sent word to all Israel and Judah, and he wrote letters of invitation to the people of Ephraim and Manasseh. Verse 5, so they sent a proclamation throughout all Israel. And verse 6, at the king's command, runners were sent throughout Israel and Judah. Now, were these actually 4 different types of communication? Actually, I think so, and the author was intentional in the language that he used here. Even in an agrarian society with a slower pace, Hezekiah used different methods to reach different people. And today, that's even more important. We know today that different people respond better to different media. In reaching members of your local community, personal invitation is by far the most effective. So make sure you give your members little 4x6 invitation cards that they can share. But to be most effective, you really need a complete multi-touch campaign using direct mail, social media advertising, YouTube advertising, and banners and road signs. This is going to increase your visibility and reach different people wherever they are. I talked about SermonView's multi-touch marketing approach a couple episodes ago, so check that out if you'd like to learn more. Number 6, use a consistent identity. When the king's messengers rolled into town, they were probably visually distinct. Maybe they had a specific uniform or flew a special banner or flag. Today, in our visual world, using an anchor image and consistent design to brand the experience makes the aggregate campaign more effective, especially when coming through different communication channels. So make sure you use a consistent identity for your event. And number 7, over-communicate. There are a lot of reasons people won't respond to your message the first time. Information overload, distraction by other matters, a misplaced flyer, or perhaps they simply haven't made a decision to participate yet. Repetition is key. Your message is competing with so many other things that scream for the time and attention of your intended audience. If the ministry activity is important to your church, then you need to over-communicate. When you as the leader are sick of hearing about it, then you're getting close to effectiveness. So, if you're planning an evangelistic event, follow these 7 keys to make it most effective. 1, make sure your event is meeting a need felt by people in your community. 2, speak to your target audience. 3, overstate the benefits. Be provocative. 4, ask for an immediate response and give people an easy way to respond. 5, use a multi-touch communication approach. Invite cards for your members to use, plus direct mail, social media advertising, YouTube ads, banners, and road signs. 6, use a consistent identity. And 7, over-communicate. Be present everywhere that you can, as much as you can. And when you plan the right Spirit-led experience and promote it effectively, you just might encounter that same response that Hezekiah did when his people wanted more. For the 7 days they praised to the Lord, the God of their fathers. The whole assembly then agreed to celebrate the festival 7 more days. So for another 7 days, they celebrated joyfully. If this episode was helpful, please subscribe so you get notified when we release future episodes. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like the video and leave us a comment. Right after Easter is a great time to start an evangelistic series. If you'd like to hear the reasons for that, check out our last episode of Ministry Insights by SermonView. Thank you, Pastor, for the sacrifices you make and for the love you pour into your church and community. God has chosen you for this moment at this church, equipping you with all the gifts that you need. So tell the story that God has given you. Take courage, trust His timing, and know that He's already doing amazing things through you. I love you guys. I'm cheering for you. We'll see you next time.